Costco is where you keep the cost low. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBlood Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. Today it is March 10th, and I wanted to kind of expand on what I talked about. If you guys saw, I made a quick little short or reel, whatever it is that you want to call it, talking about Costco. Costco reported earnings, and it went from $789 per share, and it sold off from its highs and ended up giving back about 10%. So yes, we could use the little trend line tool here, and from highs of 790 pretty much, we retraced back down to 723 on the aftermarket hours, and it was about a 9% sell-off. So right back down to the moving average. I'm getting a different mixed opinion about Costco. So Costco is an incredibly bullish company. It's not a tech company, right? Which is to some people quite surprising because of its performance, that something is this bullish and this consistent over a very long period of time. Again, this is not just 1 year. This is not two. I'm not even talking about the past 5 years. I mean, you can look at this back in 2012, right? An incredibly bullish company, and we have to give credit where it's due. So because of that, anytime something like this pulls on back, it kind of gets me to ask the question, should I buy it as a long-term play, right? And I wanted to share what it is that I learned when it comes down to this. So the first thing that I want to share with you is, well, why did it sell off? So earnings per share came in at $3.92, beating expectations of $3.62. Great. So we beat EPS, but its revenue is where it missed based off of market's expectation. We reported $58.44 billion versus the expectation of $59.16 billion. Now, I would say one of the biggest concerns was that it says on Thursday, missed Wall Street's revenue expectation for its holidays quarter, despite reporting year-over-year growth sales and strong e-commerce gains. So shares of the retailer fell 4% in the aftermarket trading session. So none of this is necessarily bad. And every article that I read out there, and please, if you find something that highlights something of a concern of Costco, share it in the comments section, right? I would love to learn more about it on what can cause potentially more selling pressure. But everything that I've read so far, the only thing that was kind of a concern is how incredibly bullish it's been and how it's up, I think, 55% in the past year, and they believe that the stock is overvalued and due for a correction. But to my understanding, with its online sales growing and them seeing more people year over year, it doesn't look like it's a struggling company. Now, did it miss, expectations for revenue? Yes. And okay, this is, somewhat justified. But overall, big picture, again, when you look at the overall large charts, it really gets you to ask the question. So as long as we don't break below the moving average and continue to sell off, just like anything, we still need to wait for signs of a support. And I would still like to wait for indication of a reversal, right? 3 stages of reversal, just like we talk about in the LPP lesson library. You might be asking, what exactly do you mean by that? Pullbacks are inevitable, right? Things like this happen all the time. It's not scary when when a stock pulls on back. We just have to wait for signs of a support. And then when it breaks back above EMA, indicating signs of an uptrend, or really just showing signs of higher highs and higher lows, then again, I would love to revisit the idea of potentially buying the dip and going long on Costco, especially because of its history of its long-term growth. This isn't a company that is selling off and that has been selling off for the past year, 2 years, or 5 years. It's an incredibly bullish company that's been showing signs of higher highs and higher lows, and that recently pulled back because it missed earnings per share. So just like Warren Buffett has said in the past before, and you guys let me know if you agree, again, the saying is buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy. So it makes sense on how people lock in profits at all-time highs and in preparation for a pullback, right? When moments like this happen, it kind of just gets me to ask the question, hey, do I want to add this to my watch list, which I already did? Do I want to set alerts for proper confirmation of a reversal? And then if it does end up indicating signs of an uptrend, then great. From current price points, which I don't have to buy it now, but once it does show signs of a support and then begins to indicate signs of a recovery, if it just goes back to previous highs, this thing offers a 9.2% return. Now, again, in comparison to very extravagant tech companies or AI companies, you might be like 9% isn't anything, but 9% is huge, right? When the average return on a yearly basis is anywhere from 7 to 10%. Now imagine being able to do that in just a few weeks if this thing ends up recovering due to this being a negative catalyst that ends up being short-lived. Now, one of the things that I do want to share with you is I even saw an article where it talked about having a price target for Costco in the 900s. I also saw another article that talked about having a price target for Costco in the 400s. So do we think that it's overvalued? And do we think that this is only the beginning of the sell-off? Or is this just a nice little pullback and a good dip buy opportunity that's for a short-lived catalyst that's going to end up recovering because the market is so incredibly bullish? And it kind of just gets you to ask the question. This is why I love having these conversations, because there is no certainty. Like, no one can predict the future. So let's not pretend like we can. But I love having conversations about stocks like this because, again, we're not talking about a BS company that is an overhyped up Reddit stock that, some Redditor is telling you that you need to buy into it because it's going to moon 1,000%. No, this is a solid company, consistent and profitable returns, growth year over year, and it's still growing. Obviously, there's a negative catalyst that caused it to sell off. So it gets you to ask the question, should I buy into it? Right? Should I buy this dip opportunity to make money as it recovers? Keeping it that simple. As of right now, there's no indication of a support, so I would say I would like to wait. And then if we do begin to get into or show signs of a recovery, then I would love to revisit the idea of going in for a potential swing trade, maybe for a few weeks or a few months for this thing to potentially recover. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is NASDAQ market and S&P 500 are also nearly at all-time highs. With that being said, if those markets begin to sell off, can they create a ripple effect, a domino effect to the rest of the market and bring the market down with it? So that's the only concern, is that, well, if this is the top and then all of markets begin to correct themselves, then maybe it's not the best time to buy Costco. But again, it's too early to tell because a pullback is not an overall market correction, but just something to think about, right? So you guys let me know down in the comment section. Is Costco a stock that you want to buy right now? Is Costco a stock that you just want to add to your watch list to watch it? And what are you waiting for, or what do you need Costco to do for it to be a stock worth investing or trading in? You guys let me know down in the comment section. Again, I love making videos like this because they're good, solid companies with long-term growth, and we get to all share our opinions on why we do or do not see value in it. So again, I hope to see you for our live trading session tomorrow. And if you want to tune on in, that's going to be that second link in the description down below. And again, I love making videos like this. So if you guys have another stock that you would like me to break down, share it in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to feature your next top stock in one of my next videos. So I appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.